My teammates and I are excited to take you on a virtual exploration of how we use virtual farm tours in diverse ways to build trust in dairy through transparency. In the past year and beyond, we have focused on new ways to use virtual farm tours across different areas to bring New York dairy farmers to different consumer segments. With every virtual farm tour experience, New York dairy farmers are the star of the show.
The beauty of virtual platforms we use is that they meet consumers where they are. Consumers and key influencer audiences can watch our tours almost anywhere, anytime for free. An added bonus is that virtual farm tour experiences maximize the farmer's time through the help of our on-site staff. Kelsey, I think we should get started. What do you think?
Absolutely. Here is a quick overview of what we will cover so you can map out this virtual journey. We will start by sharing our various formats and versions of virtual farm tours beyond just our traditional school tours. Then we will look at how we have improved and evolved our tours to better engage and connect with our audiences. Next, we will take a look at how we amplify the connections we make to drive home our key messages. Finally, we will explore the reach we have had and how we plan to expand that into the future. We are going to start off our tour with exploring virtual tours at a glance, because there are so many other types of tours besides our traditional school tours.
In 2021, we used virtual farm tour platform to reach key influencer audiences like health professionals such as pediatricians, primary care physicians, and dietitians through 2 different virtual experiences. The first was a pre-recorded tour with Welcome Stock Farm in Schuylerville, New York, for members of the New York State Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Health professionals were able to watch, then ask questions live with farm owner Neil Peck.
In the fall, we hosted a webinar for over 900 health professionals, including members of the New York State Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and New York State Academy of Pediatrics. It included live and pre-recorded farm tour segments from Ideal Dairy in Hudson Falls, New York, and showcased both the farm and on-farm processing, helping to make the connection between New York farms and the food consumers see in the store.
We make cheese and yogurt and buttermilk, all sorts of great dairy products in our new facility, so let's go look at it.
Another unique aspect of this tour was that there were 5 different members from the farm team that were able to speak to the exact topics that health professionals requested more information about. One of those topics was environmental sustainability, and we were able to bring in the farm's CAFO planner to further demonstrate credibility and relate to health professionals.
Speaking of sustainability, our team leveraged virtual farm tours to reach key stakeholders in the environmental community. Video tours were crafted to reach the Aquatic Educators Network, teachers, administrators, and community groups in the Genesee River area, as well as the Chesapeake Bay watershed, which begins in New York State. These videos use pre-recorded footage as well as question and answer to relate key messages about dairy farmers' environmental stewardship while addressing real-time questions. Millions of consumers live within the New York City watershed. In 2021, we showcased how farms protect water quality in this urban area by collaborating with experts who work with dairy farms to demonstrate the science and the dedication that farmers implement to responsibly and sustainably produce high-quality milk. Farm owner Frank Albano opened his farm and was joined by Dan Deisenroth from the Watershed Agricultural Council and Paul Sarasoletti from Cornell Cooperative Extension to create video segments that were shared with New York City residents through a targeted social media campaign.
I've said this before, the water that actually comes off our farm is more valuable than milk, almost, if you think about it. We have 9 million people in New York City drinking clean water, using clean water. That's one of those priceless things, and we would not be able, as a dairy farm now, in this day and age, to do some of the projects we've done here without partnering with New York City Watershed, Cooperative Extension. Even the research they've done for us has been unbelievable.
We can tackle complex subjects and deliver important key messages through virtual tours, but we can't forget about the fun. These virtual tours all started with youth, and we have added virtual farm experiences by collaborating with our youth programs to include them in Fuel Up to Play 60 events throughout the year. In one instance, we zoomed the farmers in live with NFL players and a celebrity host. Our students got to participate with our farmers in a physical activity, which you can see here. Then later in the year, we created pre-recorded tours to share with students that brought NFL players and farmers together.
How does the milk get from the cow to the store? Farmer Josh, can you give us the play-by-play?
Thanks, I can tell you all about that. Welcome to DeBoover Family Farms. I'm Josh DeBoover. We're here in Phelps, New York, and we're standing currently in the milking parlor where we milk 1,000 cows 3 times a day. Did you know it only takes about 5 minutes to milk a cow completely?
When thinking about our virtual farm tours in schools, we have really focused on upping our game. All the changes we have been making are all focused on improving the student experience. One way we did this was to include a live virtual tour host right in frame with the farmer. By having our tour guide on site, there is no delay in the delivery of information, and questions from students can be answered in real time.
We did have another question come in while we had that way, which was, how long do cows live?
So that's a good question. We've got some cows here that are pushing 10 years old. Cows can live longer than that, but I would say our old cows are 10 to 11 years old.
One of my favorite ways we have plussed up this experience is the addition of our cow cam. The cow cam is a second camera that allows us to show students multiple views at one time, or show an area in detail that the farmer wants to discuss, but maybe we can't get to in the allotted time. You can see here that by having cow cam on, we can really give the students a close-up picture without sacrificing the farmer's face-to-face connection. With many students learning from home over the last 2 years, it was really important to make the tours feel fun and familiar. So we encouraged our farmers to get silly and show their more vulnerable side on camera. Adam Bates did a great job of keeping students' attention in this way.
It's really nice. I could lay here all day long. It's just like laying on the beach.
We recognize, though, that while we can produce amazing content, it has to be accessible. Our goal is to have access to the tour never be a barrier to entry. Now we offer Zoom with real-time Q&A, Facebook Live with comments open, and YouTube Live, all as options to join our tours. With using YouTube Live as well, participants have immediate access to the recording during the tour, or just after it finishes, leaving no lag time, and a buffer in case classrooms are a little late arriving.
Our school tours reach students far and wide, but also we have maintained a commitment to driving home just how local New York dairy is. We support the New York Thursdays program that brings locally produced foods to New York schools every Thursday. Through an in-school contest, schools can win a custom virtual farm tour as a prize. Kelly Reynolds from Ringcrest Farms in Corfu, New York, hosted our New York Thursdays tour this past winter. One winner was a New York City school that live streamed to just over 2,000 students.
So your milk might be the same school milk or dairy products that students get.
Yes. So our milk from upstate actually goes to schools in your carton. Or if you're really lucky, you might have an intense milk machine at school.
We recognize that connecting to our youth is imperative to build lifelong, loyal dairy consumers. What better way to educate youth than peer-to-peer? This is where we continue to activate local dairy promoters to further support virtual farm tours. We send our dairy promoters into classrooms to watch the virtual farm tours with the class and then complete a follow-up activity. By doing this, we can put a knowledgeable, relatable, and fun resource right at the students' fingertips.
While it's great to have media at the farm or interacting with the farmer directly, we showcase the classroom education impact. We survey classrooms and teachers to get their real-time feedback on the tours. In 2021, one teacher from Herman Avenue Elementary School in Auburn, New York, provided her feedback to the Auburn Citizen, saying, "Our class had an opportunity to travel to a farm without leaving our classroom. The kids love seeing the cows and really have an understanding, even at a young age, that the animals are well taken care of, and that transpires to the products that we get are good and healthy for us." One huge asset of our organization are our dedicated and specialized teams that work together to focus on telling every aspect of dairy's story. By collaborating with our public relations and digital marketing teams, we get even more mileage out of our virtual farm experiences, whether they're live or pre-recorded. With our school tours specifically, we pitch the stories to key media markets as well as local media near each host farm to drum up interest and boost registrations. Of course, we couldn't do this without amazingly talented farmers that help us by opening up their farms as well as completing media interviews with grace. We recognize that not every farmer has experience with media or live virtual events, so we make sure to offer full media and engagement training for any farmer who participates in these events. This media training includes key messages to cover, language to use or avoid, as well as heads up on any potentially hot topics. We also make sure we have a staff member available and on-site if the farmer wants help navigating these media endeavors. Overall, our virtual farm experiences are an excellent tool we use to entice coverage from local media, with this fall alone racking up 137 media placements, 980,000 traditional media impressions, and online reach of 3.5 million.
The virtual farm tour strategy is built upon measurable and specific goals to produce trend-positive outcomes. We know that by showcasing farms of varying sizes, management styles, and from varying regions across the state, we can best represent the diversity of farming in New York State and ultimately give consumers an accurate vision of where their food comes from. Looking at the map here, you can see that we've engaged a very diverse group of farms. We also think critically about the key messages and goals of each tour when we look to select each farm. We ask our teams internally who is the key audience and what is the most important thing they need to know when they are finished with this tour. Do we need to showcase specific farm attributes to achieve this? What skill sets do our farmers need to complete this tour?
Through our careful selection of farmers, development of content, and curation of visual assets, we are able to reach big audiences. That is the real beauty of virtual farm tours. Travel time for schools or others and space are not an issue we have to contend with. It's a more efficient use of farmers' time to give the tours virtually. With the average virtual tour reaching anywhere from 4,000 to 25,000 students live, there is no way we could achieve that in person. Then when you consider the continued educational value of these tours being available on YouTube in perpetuity, the reach grows exponentially.
While increasing our reach is certainly important, we never sacrifice the quality of that reach. The key messages of cow care, sustainability, and the nutritious value of dairy are front and center. We collect survey feedback on the tours to identify where and how we can improve the learning experience for both the students and the teachers. We also seek feedback from farmer tour hosts to ensure they enjoyed and benefited from the experience. From these measures, we identify in the past year that teachers are struggling to make time to do the tours with limited classroom time. To address this in 2022, we are adding a curriculum standard approved lesson plan to complement each virtual farm tour while also tailoring the tours to age-appropriate groups.
Looking to the future, we will continue to strategically evolve to keep dairy top of mind and on consumers' plates.
We will continue to highly tailor each virtual farm tour
to the targeted audience, from high-level professionals to elementary school children.
Data is showing us that a key strategy to securing our future is by winning the hearts of Gen Z.
Even though we are young, we are a powerful generation making waves early in our tenure.
Our strategies with virtual farm tours are focused on appealing to Gen Z by using platforms they love,
demonstrating how our values align with their own, and hitting home our key messages in ways they enjoy.
Bringing consumers to the farm through virtual platforms,
both live and pre-recorded,
further positions us as a transparent and trustworthy industry,
ultimately showing how dairy farming is so much more than meets the eye.